Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. All right, guys, today I am going over Peaky Blinders. All right, this is a show on Netflix. It is popular among many people, but it is also unpopular among many people. And because I love the show, I just had to talk about it, guys. This is where I come to talk about the shows I love. So I just had to do it. Got to throw it out there to see who's going to catch it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going over season 6, episode 1 today. And it's called Black Day. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to disable the comments because I don't want anybody putting any spoilers in, because when they drop the episodes, they drop all of them, all right? And I cannot stand spoilers, okay? But once I'm done watching everything, I will enable the comments again, all right? So guys, Peaky Blinders is finally back. The Shelby family, yes, I love them. I've been waiting for too freaking long, okay? So they surprised me, guys. Now the episode starts off with Tommy Shelby, and he's out in his little field, and he has a gun to his head, and he pulls the trigger, but there's nothing in the freaking chamber. So he falls to the ground face down. I mean, he's in the mud, not even really the ground. He's on soil and it's muddy and just wet and disgusting. So his wife comes out there, Lizzie, and she's like, Arthur took the bullets out. She was like, he told me y'all stopped at a crossroads on your way back and you were throwing up. Then she said, I heard you pull the trigger, Tommy. And she was like, you didn't even check the chamber. You're not even a soldier anymore. You know, basically she's saying he's a coward for trying to kill himself and leave his family. And so she said, you know what? If you want to leave, here's 6 reasons. And she threw down 6 bullets. And then she walked away. So now he's coming back into the house. And this is when he receives a phone call, guys. And the call is from a woman named Laura. And she's telling him, like, I'm pretty sure you're wondering who prevented the assassination last night, but if you look out your window, you'll see that there's a flag of truce, or a truce flag, right? And the bodies of everybody that you lost last night, we dropping them off so that y'all can bury them the way you want. Now, in season 5, we knew that the sniper dude that he hired to kill Mosley, he got killed, right? And then we also know that Abarama Gold got killed. But there was a third body. And it was like, who the heck is this third body? So we're having these scene sequences where he's listening to the woman's voice on the phone, but he's also outside unwrapping the bodies. So you see Abarama Gold, you see the sniper guy, and then the third body. And he breaks down. And as the woman is speaking, she said, you had a crutch. And we had to remove the crutch last night. We removed that crutch from you. And guys, we find out that the body was Aunt Paul's, yo. Aunt Polly is dead, guys. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you serious? How the heck are y'all gonna kill Aunt Polly? All right, y'all already know that she is like the matriarch. She's gangsta. I mean, she's everything to this show, guys. And it didn't make any sense to get rid of her. So I had to rationalize and say to myself, well, if he's about to go to war with Michael, and Aunt Polly already, you know, she kind of got that little supernatural sense and everything. So she told him last season that there's a war that's going to take place and one of you is going to die. And I don't know who it is. So I rationalized with myself and I said, okay, taking Paul out would make some sense, because then we don't have to worry about her choosing sides when it comes to her son and her nephew, who is also like her son. But then, guys, at the end of the episode, it said in loving memory of the actress who plays Aunt Polly. And she really freaking died, guys. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, first of all, you know, I'm already dealing with certain things. You know, I just lost one of my friends. So hearing about that was even sad. And I was like, oh my gosh. So she really died, guys. She had cancer, unfortunately. I mean, but this woman was really a force, like such a good actor, a great actor on this show. So I'm very sorry to hear this. But, you know, the showrunners, they wanted to pay respect to her and still write her in the show. And they figured, you know, it doesn't make sense to have Aunt Polly, go away or be out of the country, it would just make sense to write it in the show that she also passed away. So her presence is still going to be felt even throughout the episode. You hear him talking to her. I'm not sure if it was in this episode, Black Day, or if it was in episode number 2, because I kind of got halfway through episode 2. But guys, she's gone, guys, in real life and on the show. So basically, like I was saying, removing Aunt Paul was removing a crutch that Tommy had to lean on since he's been building this empire. Now, this is what Laura told him. And she was like, now you won't have her as a crutch to lean on. You're going to only lean on us. And please don't mistake it, because the deaths of your people are your responsibility, because you consistently fail to understand your own limitations. And then she hangs up the phone. So anyway, at her funeral, the gypsy funerals, they put them in like this carriage and they burn them with all of their belongings. Even that beautiful painting of hers. I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. You can't even have the painting of Aunt Paul. So anyway, guys, as she's burning, Michael is standing there all stoic and everything. And he makes a declaration of vengeance on Thomas Shelby. Okay, his cousin. He's basically saying that his mother died at the hands of Tommy because of his ambition. And so he's saying that he will not rest until Tommy pays for what happened to his mom. So now 4 years later go by, and we see that Tommy is in France, and it's Christmas time. And we also get a scene with the family, and the kids are running all around, and Arthur is supposed to play Santa, but he out here getting high, guys. So one thing has not changed. Arthur has gone into a downward spiral. He was already drinking and, doing some type of drugs before this. If he wasn't doing drugs, he was heavily drinking all the time. But now it's worse now that Aunt Polly is dead. But opposite of that, Tommy decides to never drink again. Ever since she died, he decided he's never going to drink again. So it helped him to have like a calmer mind. And he's noticed that when he drinks, other thoughts come into his mind, like he's haunted by different thoughts, and he's so much better for it now. So we get this scene where he walks up into this bar, and he's also speaking French, and he's saying he'll just have some water. So there's some dudes that's, off in the corner, and they're offended. One of them is highly offended that Tommy came up into the bar and decided to have some freaking water. So he pretty much wants to force Tommy to drink. All right. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, guys, throughout this whole episode, everybody is trying to force Tommy to drink. And he's like, I don't drink anymore. So the dude is coming up to Tommy and starting trouble. And Tommy is saying, listen, I just don't drink anymore. And I've been clean for 4 years, basically. And the dude behind the counter, the bartender, he's basically saying in French, leave it alone, leave it alone. And when he was saying that, I said, he must know how Tommy get down, because he is trying to warn this brother to step the freak off and leave it the freak alone. Long story short, guys, the dude breaks a bottle over the counter, and Tommy went into action quick, fast. I thought he was going to Peaky Blinder him, how they have the razors in their hats. I thought that's what he was going to do, but he pulled something out and he slashed his face, but he never took his hat off. I had to rewind it because I'm like, did he take his hat off? Because I know they be doing, they be having them blades in their hats. He didn't take his hat off, but he sure had a knife on him, sliced the dude's face. Everybody tried to jump him. Tommy was getting it in, all right? Then he pulled his gun out. He's like, I'm trying to tell y'all to chill out, all right? This is a misunderstanding and all of this. I'm having a meeting. That's all I'm waiting for, because he was in the bar because he was waiting for a meeting with Michael, who was coming, across seas, and he was, he just got on the dock. And now we also see that Michael has his own little crew. I believe he's still living in America. He got married. He has a child, and he has his own crew that he showed up to the meeting with. So after Tommy, had to settle that situation, I was like, yes, I love this whole, like, it's like, it's a new Tommy, but it's not, because he always had a demeanor about him that was kind of calm, but also very stressed out and stuff like that. But this time it's different. It's like he even said it, I'm more patient now that I don't drink, and certain things don't rile me like they used to and stuff like that. But okay, when he got to go into action, he's still going to action. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I just love how Tommy handled these men. So then he goes into the room and he has his meeting with Michael, and he's just basically letting him know that because of the fact that alcohol is being legalized, now the French are having a hard time adjusting and they're losing business. So we're going to try to keep the business going. And, they work out this plan to basically work together to continue the shipments and everything. So now he gets up to leave the meeting, and of course they see that he's not taking a drink, and as he tries to get up to leave, one of the guys that are with Michael step in the way. And so one dude that's sitting down is saying, I say when the meeting is over, so have a seat. And then the other dude that stopped him pours the drink up to the top, and he tells him to put some hair on his chest. So I'm like, Tommy, don't do it. Don't drink. And then they said, tell me a poem. So Tommy's like, okay, you want to hear a poem? You want to hear a poem? So he starts to tell this poem. And it was pretty deep, guys. And the poem went something like this. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. Then he tells him that it's from The Poison Tree by William Blake. And whatever this poem meant to them must have been kind of threatening or whatever, because when he got up, he was like, all right, the meeting is over, and nobody stopped him. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, also I want to mention before I move on that before they sat down to really talk about business, Michael asked him why he hasn't taken vengeance for the death of his mom. And Tommy was like, well, sometimes vengeance takes time. So he says that he's working on a plan, and I hope that is true. But right now we do see that Tommy is being very patient. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to Michael, because Michael wants to get vengeance on Tommy because he blames Tommy for the death of his mother. All right. Now, also, before he left, he slid something over to Michael to let him know that this time, instead of importing the alcohol, we're going to be doing a different cargo. And so it's opium, guys. And when Michael leaves, he is carrying this bag full of opium. And Tommy goes in to contact the police department and gives Michael's full description and tells him that he is a concerned citizen and this man is walking around with a bag full of opium, guys. All right. And this causes Michael to get arrested. Oh my gosh, guys, I forgot to mention that also before Tommy left that meeting, because this also ties into Michael's arrest, right? This is all a part of Tommy's plan. He tells Michael and his little crew that he spoke to his police commissioner friend, who also spoke to the FBI liaison, and he was told that there is an informant in Michael's crew. Then he goes and leans over to the guy who's representing Uncle Jack. Okay, we're going to talk about him a little later. He leans into him and he says, beware of the man with the bleeding heart tattoo that says Maria. So like I said, this is all a part of Tommy's plan, okay? Sow some discord in that organization. And the man with the bleeding heart tattoo was somebody that wound up being killed, all right? We find this out during Gina's visit to Michael. When she goes to see Michael, she's like, what the heck happened? Why are you back in business with Tommy and all of this stuff? And he's like, we can't talk here. Like, calm down. Shut your mouth, please. Just get me out of here. And he said, listen, you're going to find out about a man that was killed with the bleeding heart tattoo. You need to just don't say anything. All I need you to do right now is get the charges dropped for me, okay? Get the charges lifted or dropped. And a couple scenes later, we also see that Tommy, he makes his way to America and he's visiting with Gina and he wants to see Jack, okay? This infamous Uncle Jack of hers. And she says, no, he's not going to meet with you. And Tommy says, well, listen, if he don't meet with me, then I'm going to do work with the Jews. And she said, do you want to start a freaking war? And Tommy is just like, basically, hey, doesn't matter to him. He's basically telling her that y'all need to learn that I got connections and you're going to have to start treating us like equals because these people in America looking down on them, right? And he also tells her that he was the reason why Michael was in jail. He made the call because Michael was under the impression that it was the informant that made the call, right? Like I said, this is all a part of his plan. What was also a part of his plan was that Tommy wanted to see what kind of move Jack was going to make. he basically said that he wanted to give Jack a dilemma to see if he was going to get Michael out of jail or if he was going to leave him in there. Now, the reason he would leave him in there is because now Jack is starting to have meetings and all that stuff with folks at the White House, basically the president, So he doesn't want to screw that up. But also, the gang in Boston is going to look at him like, what are you doing if you don't get this guy out of jail? So it puts him in a pretty messed up predicament. And once again, like I said, this is all Tommy's plan. And he's just trying to do what he needs to do to make more money before he leaves the business. This is what he keeps telling his sister and also Lizzie. So I might be jumping to the next episode, but this is his plan, guys. So now we get to a scene where Lizzie calls Tommy. And he's in the bed with another woman. Looks like she's strange, okay? But Lizzie tells Tommy that Ruby is sick. She had a fever and all of this stuff. And so Tommy's like, okay, everything should be fine. And, she'll get better. And then we'll all meet up and we'll just hold off on the holiday thing because they were supposed to come out to meet him. But when Lizzie tells him that Ruby was having delusions and she was talking Romany or, that gypsy talk and the words that she was saying, Tommy freaking flipped out. And he was like, I'm coming home right now. Did she see somebody? Did she see somebody when she was saying this? And Lizzie's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yo, just be quiet. Did she see somebody? Tell me what else she said. So Lizzie was like, well, she said she saw a man with green eyes. So now Tommy is like, all right, I'm coming home. Get Johnny Dogs and his wives and tell them the words that Ruby have been saying. Put a Madonna necklace around her neck. All of this stuff. Don't let her ride no horses. Keep her away from the river. Don't bring her to school. All of this stuff. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So she's like, all this gypsy crap. And he said, yes, gypsy crap. Okay. But do what the heck I say. Everything that Johnny Dogs and his wives and Esmeralda tell you to do, you better freaking do it. You better act like that's the doctor telling you what to do. Okay. So he had to apologize to Lizzie for yelling, but he's like, I really need you to freaking do everything that I'm saying to do. So Tommy gets off the phone and he starts to talk to Polly, okay? And he says, Polly, they know I'm trying to get out. They're coming for me. Now, I don't know exactly what the heck this means yet. This is the first episode, but I am ready to know what the heck is going on, what all this stuff is about. The gypsy element in this show is very intriguing, guys. So I just want to know. Now, the fact that Aunt Paul is gone kind of seems to remove that element, but it doesn't, So we're going to get that through Johnny Dogs and obviously some of the stuff that's going on with Tommy as well. So I really hope they elaborate on this because I just want to know more. Like, what the heck does these words mean? And what the heck is her seeing a man with green eyes mean? Like, does that mean that it's like a death omen or something like that? I really need to know. Next, before Tommy goes home, he stops at the prison and he visits Michael. And, Michael was telling him, look, you're dead already because you threatened to sell to the Jews and all of this stuff. And Tommy is just like, listen, I have contacts in this prison and these boys will look after you. And Michael's like, I don't need none of your people to look after me and all of this stuff. And he tells Tommy that Jack Nelson is getting him out. And Tommy's like, oh, yeah, because I got a letter saying that the president told him to make you stay up in here for a little while longer. And of course, it's until the press loses interest. So of course, Michael feels stupid, because first of all, Michael, I don't care what happens to him. All right. I didn't like how he seems to be too hungry for power from last season. You could kind of see him turning anyway. So I'm not surprised that he's on the opposite side of things, and obviously I'm team Shelby all day. And, Michael is kind of out here and he sees that old Uncle Jack, your wife's uncle, don't give a crap about you, okay? You're very expendable. And, Tommy tells him, look, you'll get out soon and then we could continue our business as usual. Our business being $5 million for a shipment of powder. And then once that's done, we could shake hands and move on. So all Michael has to say to that is, I'm sorry that you didn't learn. When my mother died at the hands of your ambition, you didn't learn your limitations. And he really sounds a lot like the woman, Laura, who also told Tommy this on the phone. So it got me thinking, well, were you the one that helped give up Tommy and the plans, because remember, nobody really knew about the plans to kill Mosley. Okay, and all of a sudden, like, that assassination plan was thwarted, and it was just like it had to be an inside man. So it's clearly was Michael who gave them up. Okay, and he wants to try to blame it on the ambition of Tommy and all of this stuff, but at the end of the day, it's most likely him, guys. Haven't gotten a confirmation, but that's what I'm going for, because he was already captured by these people, and you know that he gave them up some freaking information. All right, so there we have it. Now, my thing is, does Tommy know this? Now, I do believe I'm going to have to go back to season 5 just to refresh my memory and everything, but I am wondering if Tommy knows this about Michael. He's the one who gave it up. Now, he needs to deal with his own guilt, okay? Now, he might be stupid enough to believe that it wasn't his fault that his mother died. I would believe that. But anyway, guys, Tommy ain't trying to hear nothing that Michael tells him, and he says, I have no limitations, okay? And walks the heck away like the boss he is. Okay, let's go, Tommy. But before he leaves all the way, he turns around just to screw with Mike once more. And he follows up on a little information that he told him before, which is that Jack is on his way to England. And so he's going to be able to do some business with him there. Or he hopes he will, right? But then he tells him, look, he bought passage for 5 people from Boston to Liverpool. His wife, his mistress, President Roosevelt's son, himself, and your wife, Gina. So basically, they all about to leave you behind right the heck here. And as he's walking backwards, Tommy's like, Gina's coming to London, Michael, where I will be happy to show her the sights, okay? And Tommy is just walking away all cool, like, yep, spirits, Boston Irish, and Uncle Jack. I'm ready for the conversation. And that is how the first episode of season 6 ended, guys. And I am so ready to finish this. I'm not sure if I'm going to go episode by episode. I might do like 2 in 1 or whatever, but we'll see how that goes. And hopefully I'll have like a shorter recap than before. But man, this was a good episode. And I just love how, you know, Tommy was ready to lose it all in the final season, just ready to kill himself. And he took Aunt Paul's death and just decided, like, I'm going to make a change. You know, the woman told him, Laura, she said, we removed the crutch. So now that there's no crutch there, he had to make a decision and say, listen, if I don't got no crutch, I got to get rid of this alcohol and make sure that my mind is right. So that all the moves that I make, I'm clear-headed, I'm level-headed, and I'm thinking right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm 10 steps ahead of folks, and I'm doing it cool, calm, and collected. So this is the Tommy that I'm loving right now, and I hope he wins, guys. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't watched Peaky Blinders, I'm sorry, because obviously this is a spoiler if you decided to watch this. But listen, guys, there's so much more. You can go back and binge watch, and it's a good show. I do want to let you know that you should put on the subtitles, because some of their accents, with their British accents, some of them are a little heavier than others, so you will need them, okay? But anyway, guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.